Oh, I was like, how do you know that? But I don't even have the YouTube's thing up. All right, it should be a rolling. Yes, we are live. We've been live for 13 seconds now, so we can just do this for a few more, because if anybody clicks on this, there'll be a video showing, but yeah, whatever. All right. I keep saying I'm gonna do like a record like an intro thing for these things, but
yeah, you gotta get to work.
I gotta get off my butt and do stuff. It's been a month or two since we've actually done this because, well, I've been lazy and stuff. But anyway, hey, I'm Shane, and we're doing our somewhat monthly EDC video live stream. Switching things up a little bit. We've done the live unboxing and then carrying something for a month, and follow up video to talk about what we thought of it. Trying to keep it budget friendly and all that, but we thought we'd do a theme right now since this is November and things are changing around the world weather-wise. Here in the northern hemisphere is becoming winter. The days are getting shorter, nights are getting longer and colder. So for me, that changes up my EDC a little bit with the colder temperatures and the less daylight. That changes what I have, not only EDC literally on my body, but also what I consider EDC as stuff I carry, not necessarily on me 24/7, but with me. Stuff I keep staged in a vehicle or in a backpack that I carry with me and all that kind of stuff. So we could just dive right into it, but I'm not really that well prepared. So let's just go around the horn and do the old school happy hour type thing and see how everybody's doing. So I'll go to my immediate left.
Howdy, folks. Sam here.
Which is Sam. Take it away, Sam. How you doing?
Doing good. I'm trying to remember how to do these things. It's been a while.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, they down here in the South, the EDC doesn't change much, except sometimes you go from pants or shorts to pants. And I carry on me basically the same thing year round.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's essential keys, wallets, knife, whatever. Just that never changes for me.
Right.
So I don't know about Norman down there over there in Texas, but that's pretty much all I do is I change pants.
Change pants. Yeah, both the boys are down in the Gulf area, and I'm up in northern Wisconsin, so climate's quite a bit different. We're just talking before we went live about gardening because Norm has been chatting about his fall garden and how the heat's been screwing it up. And I'm like, you have a fall garden? I have a garden. I get like 3 months where I can grow stuff. So it's a little bit different. In fact, that's why we're a little late, because Norm was saying it's kind of the opposite. He's got like basically 2 growing seasons, the fall.
Yeah, we got 2 3-month growing season. In the spring, summer is way too hot to do anything.
Yeah.
And then in the fall, plants will start growing again.
But also, you guys do lose quite a bit of daylight too. So
yeah,
is there more stuff you gotta consider with the less daylight? I'll go in a deep dive in that, but go ahead, Norm. We're passing it to you.
Yeah. So how's it going, everyone? I'm Norm. Yeah, garden wise, the shorter days, the plants know the days are getting shorter and they should be going dormant. So they go in the fall garden, they start growing slower and slower throughout the 3 months season here. And in the spring, the days are getting longer, of course, and the plants know that. So spring garden's always a little better than the fall garden. But
Sure.
the normal winter vegetables, my green onions, my beets, my radishes, all doing well. Cucumbers, fine. Tomatoes, they look fine, but they're just not growing.
Sure.
And the peppers, which I enjoy a bunch, aren't growing that much either.
All right.
But they're starting to leaf out now that the temperatures are cooling down. Like I was telling you guys before, it's been in the 80s. We've had near record high temperatures for the past few weeks. So
Cool.
once things start to cool down a little bit, we might get a growth spurt or so. But I have everything planned out in the full sun for fall. In the spring, I have to kind of shade things a little bit as it gets warmer. But yeah. So they're getting their normal 6-7 hours of daylight right now.
Okay. Now for EDC, do you switch anything up with the darkness? Do you carry a flashlight more than you normally do, or anything else?
Well, I have a number of. I'm always carrying a flashlight, but one of the things as winter comes around is, and I want to ask you about this before, because normally our climate is, we usually get maybe 5-6 frost days a year, and just a few days below 32 degrees. So our water, our municipal water, actually comes into the house on the outside of the house, above ground, and into the side of the house. So it's not like up north where it goes into the basement and it's underground
Below
and
the frost line.
freeze-proof. Yeah, we're 6 inches below. They just put it as, yeah, because the building code state, hey, it's got to be underneath the frost line. We don't have a frost line. The pipes just sit basically underneath your grass.
Sure.
So what we have to prepare for is getting insulation to cover all the pipes outside and all the spigots, because we don't have those fancy spigots like you guys do up north that have the shut off 2 feet, back.
Yep, for sure.
And I forget what the official name of those are called, but
I can't remember either, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Yep. Okay, that was a topic I didn't even bring up because
prepping the house is kind of the one thing we do, because we do have those few days of freezing. And I'll turn it back to you. I do travel up north for Christmas. So my car EDC and car prep changes.
Yep. Yeah, that's a great point. And yeah, that's kind of the whole point of this thing. It's not just talking about gear and EDC stuff, but more on the preparedness stuff and on preps like that. So yeah, prepping for the winter. Yeah, for me, I'm quite a bit different than you boys. Being above the 45th parallel.
What's your do you know your frost line depth?
Oh, several feet, like 3 or 4 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they always say, why don't you guys have basements here? In Houston. Well, the reason you guys have basements up north, and I'm from Indiana, so we always had a basement, is because your the foundation of your house has to be so many feet below the frost line. So you dig 3 feet deep down to get below the frost line, and then you dig another couple feet down, and you're 6 feet down. You almost have a basement. So why don't dig out the whole basement and put your foundation there? And here, there's no frost line. Yeah, it's going down 3 feet, on the edges of the foundation, and everything's fine.
Yep. No, but that was because up here it gets dark, it gets cold, it gets snowy. So what I carry on me changes a little bit, but mostly what I carry with me, like Sam brought up, he has his pack he carries with him. I carry a pack with me. both you guys brought up what you carry in your vehicle. That changes out too. On me personally, I'm a big fat. I'm not that fat. I'm a big flashlight kind of guy. And on me every day, I got one of these little rechargeable flashlights. This is a Olight Baton 3. Rechargeable flashlight, several different settings. Super tiny, fits my pocket. I just got an aftermarket belt clip for it because I broke the old one. And but a lot of people laugh at the idea of carrying a flashlight. I literally use this thing practically every day. I use it a lot at work for inspecting or going over different tooling and stuff that I'm working on, even in the daylight. And then, of course, this time of the year, this thing comes in wicked handy, fumbling for keys, doing stuff around the house out in the yard, because this time of the year where I live is literally pitch black when I go to work, and it's pitch black when I get home from work. So having this light's handy.
So
But
what's the actual times there? Because
time,
we're all on Central Time.
yep.
And it'll get light here now that daylight savings time switched over around 6 o'clock, and then get dark around 5:30. Pitch black by 6. I'm assuming it's earlier there.
Yeah, because I'm a little bit farther away from the equator. You can see in the center of my watch right now, sunrise was 7:13 and sunset was 4:38.
Yeah, that makes a big difference. So it is definitely dark. It's just getting dark when I get home.
Yeah, it's night time when I get home. So with that said, these little rechargeable flashlights are awesome, and I use them quite a bit. But with it being rechargeable and everything, that sometimes it just, if I don't keep up on things, it's slick because it's got the little, not to be an Olight commercial, but when you turn it on, it'll indicate green as its sufficiently charged battery, and it'll go to yellow and red if you don't pay attention, blah blah blah. But with it being dark all the time, and there's a risk of this thing being out, I will carry a second flashlight, which is a more serious, as you can see, is a tactical flashlight by Surefire. This thing will ride in my back left pocket, and this will ride in my front left pocket. And this is my daily driver. I use it all the time. But if it's, as James Yeager used to say, if it's game time, this is the light I use. Or if the other one goes dead, I got this one. So that's a little thing that's a little different that I do, is I carry two flashlights. Off body in my truck, I have here, you see this a Maxpedition water bottle holder. It holds a 32 ounce Nigene bottle. I always keep, in the summertime, an extra bottle of water in my truck, full of water, because when you need water, you want water. And in the pocket here, I keep the multi-tool that we tested out a while ago, along with a snack bar, and then a little boo-boo kit with some wet wipes, and the boo-boo kit falls away. Some Band-Aids, some KT tape, that kind of stuff, in case I have a breakdown and I need to walk a couple miles. I got everything I need. A little Advil, just boo-boo stuff. And also in here would be a bottle of bug spray. Well, in the wintertime up here, everything freezes, so I take that water bottle out. I do have a water bottle that I carry in my office bag also, so that goes from home with me to work. At work, I use it, refill it at work, bring it back. In the wintertime, having one bottle of water is plenty, but if things go crazy, having two is all right. So since there's no mosquitoes and bug spray freezes and water freezes, there's really no need for me to carry this extra stuff in the wintertime in my truck. But replacing it, since I don't need to have the bug spray and the extra water, that's when I'll have more of the winter stuff that I'll have, like an extra fleece, an extra jacket, heavier boots, that kind of stuff. So that's basically my winter setup. Is I will switch out the bug spray, the sunscreen, that kind of stuff, and have some heavier clothing in the vehicle. Then on my body, I just one up my flashlights.
And you're obviously flossing enough because I saw.
Oh, the little toothpick
Yeah.
flashlights. Yeah, that's the crap that the dentist gives me 2 times a year, and I never use, so they pile up. So I just put them everywhere. But those little flossing things are kind of handy because, well, what else goes in that thing is some beef jerky.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking 2 steps ahead where my car breaks down. I have no cell service, but hey, there's a next town's 5 miles down the road. I'll start walking. And then I'll eat some beef jerky to give me some energy. And you get a little on your tooth, and now I can get that picked out. So it's 3D chess, Norm. You gotta think 5 moves ahead.
You don't want to get meat in your teeth.
No, I'm not a meat in my teeth kind of guy. Or my well, we'll just leave it at that.
So what kind of temperature do you expect to see during the winter?
For me, typical winter highs will be like in the 20s or the teens, and the lows around 0. We will typically get a week or two where it's below 0. We'll typically right around Christmas we'll get a blast of below 0 weather. Then it'll warm up a little bit in January, and then late January, February we get another blast of cold weather, and so sometimes you get like a week where it doesn't get above 0 Fahrenheit and the low's 20 or 30 below. So yeah, that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So then that goes to the more preparedness things. That's when you're more strategic on your outdoor adventures. You don't make as many trips as you typically do just for the heck of it. You make you make the habit of making sure your gas tank's always full and making sure you have a good kit in your car, like you were alluding to on your ventures up to Indiana and Iowa in the wintertime, when you make sure you have your kit loaded out in your vehicle. Norm, as a Southern Texas gentleman, what do you put in your vehicles when you venture up to the Great White North for Christmas and Thanksgiving?
Well, I was trying to do a Southern accent. I'm actually from Indiana, so can't really do it. But
What I put in my car is
So yeah, number 1, first aid kit. Number 1, blanket. Number 1. So it's all number 1 stuff
Yep.
you need. Portable air compressor.
Oh, sure. Yep.
Because we start down here and it's 70 degrees outside. We start heading up north, and then all of a sudden our tire pressures down from 40 to 30, and they can go down quick just from the temperature change.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's based air compressor, blankets, more than one. In the car, you don't have to carry those stupid space blankets, even though they do work. You can actually get a comfortable blanket, and I've used those before,
Yep.
especially when I was younger and drove crappy cars and had a few breakdowns.
Sure.
But yeah, now that we got cell phones and AAA and everything, it's a lot easier to get help
Oh
when
yeah.
you need it.
Yep.
And we're not far off the beaten path, so
Yeah.
we only have to really prepare for 1 or 2 hours of isolation before help arrives.
Sure.
So it's not like we're carrying, and we were always carrying bottled waters and all that stuff when
Yep.
we're traveling, and we always have our snacks because we're traveling. But yeah, it's not like we're preparing to go overlanding in the middle of winter
Right. Right.
in Maine or something.
Right. And a lot of stuff, keeping your cell phone charged and stuff like that. Most modern vehicles you can, or even not modern vehicles, you get the little USB, the cigarette lighter adapters and stuff. You can keep them topped off. One thing I keep, that's another topic. Is just your general stuff you keep in your vehicle. That could be a show on its own.
Mm-hmm.
But besides that, I'll keep a small battery bank in mine too, just because why not?
Man, we always have a number of them anymore.
Oh yeah, they're
Yeah.
so handy and so cheap.
Mhm.
I got a bunch of them laying around all over the place.
Norm uses his like daily.
That's
At least-
it's my normal charger.
Yep.
Is my
Oh, that's-
battery.
Oh
Is
yeah,
that the one you had in Huntsville?
Yes, it is. So it's the
Yeah.
Max Dave on there. So I just keep this charged, snap it to the back of my phone. Here's another one that actually I plugged in.
let me embiggen
And-
you. Show that. Is that like the Anchor?
This is not Anchor, it's Hue Green. So
Okay,
I've got the Anchor ones and also like the Hue Green stuff from Amazon.
sure, because you
So,
get the same battery.
Lithium ion stuff,
for the
I'm kind of picky on getting from companies I trust.
Yep.
So yeah, I trust those two companies.
Yeah, I
And-
got a couple of similar ones from Anchor or Anchor or however you want to pronounce it, and they're the bee's knees, as you will. So yeah, we're kind of bouncing all over the place, which we always do, which is always cool. But yeah, with blankets, yeah, I keep. I just bought off of Amazon just your old school wool blanket that are 80% wool, 20% stuff that will make you scratch yourself to death for
Mhm.
having wool. But yeah, they're dirt cheap. And the old school wool, it's nice. It's a little heavier stuff than obviously in a space blanket, but having it stuffed underneath the seat of my truck and stuff to take out when you need, it's doesn't add that much weight. But I just like the wool because it's super durable. If you get it wet, it still retains your heat just well. It won't be crazy, and it's super durable and everything. So, and they're pretty darn cheap too off of Amazon. You can get them from a host of providers. I don't have any good ones, but yeah, I have one of those in both my vehicles. I just live in there full time because it's you never know.
Mhm. And yeah, you're not taking your clothes off and slide into bed with those wool blankets. You're just gonna toss them over your clothes, you know, if you need them. Even just to keep the snow off if you got to go look under the hood or something. Or
Mhm.
fill up your tires like we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
I never thought about that. About putting the blanket in to
Oh yeah,
Or,
that was when I was in Indiana, that was always a big thing.
Or you're in Alabama.
well, I'm saying just like you said, putting it on the ground to get underneath your car, or
yeah.
put it on the ground to check, inflate your tires, change your tire, whatever.
Mhm. Well, and even I joke, you're in southern Texas and Alabama. Even in the summertime down where you boys are, if you gotta spend the night outside, it's if it relatively speaking, if it gets down into the 70s or the 60s at night, which would be pretty darn cool, that's still way below your normal body temperature and you're going to get a chill. So having a blanket is still not a bad idea, even if you're down in the south, it's
Yeah.
and then I never thought of the utilitarian value that Sam brought up was just nice to not be rolling around in the frickin' dirt when you want to work on something or do something. So
especially in this Alabama heat. You have a blowout on the side of the road, and you're on the asphalt, and you got to lay under there to put the jack underneath the truck and jack it up, and then you got to sit down, change tire.
Yep.
And that asphalt's hot. I've done it once, and I learned from that.
Oh yeah, we're doing a complete 180. What do you do when it's cold, but what do you do when it's hot? So yeah. I do that too.
I apologize. I just it can go both ways.
Yeah, it can go both ways, just like Norm's brother.
Yeah, Greg does do that. Go both ways. I don't even know what that means.
I don't know.
That's my idea.
All the Miller boys.
I just said Norm's brother, and with there being multiple brothers, I could just leave it at that. But nope, Norm had to name names. That's what it is. And Derek's saying, no loving under that one blanket. Must be fiberglass, but hey, might need to start a fire.
All right.
Yeah, Ken's got that down. And excuse me, I'm battling my normal November chest cold. But Ken, our friend from Madison, brought it up too, where it's not one size fits all. Excuse me. Carry most of everything that's mentioned in his truck. Wife's car is garage and only used for in-town trips, so no worries. And the UTV has nearly everything, so that's true too. There's no one size fits all cookie cutter boilerplate what have you for all your vehicles. You don't have to go crazy and load out everything for any possibility. If, as Ken mentioned, the wife's vehicle, it stays in the garage, it's well maintained, and they only use it in town, within, I'm guessing 5-10 miles. I'm just throwing a random number out there. Your needs are going to be a lot less because chances are you're within cell phone range of everything. You're probably within walking distance of fans or family. If Ken is out with the wife's car and it breaks down, he can just call his wife and say, hey, hop in my truck and pick me up. That kind of thing. You can save a lot of time and money and not load a bunch of crap that you're not going to use inside that vehicle. But then, as he says, his truck is a little more loaded out because they probably head out for the weekends or go farther out. Then it makes sense to have all that stuff there. And then Ken's a big UTV kind of guy. So if you're out on the trail and you might be with a big group of people or you might be by yourself, you could be 5 minutes from the campsite or you could be an hour from anything. It's better to have everything you need and stuff you don't need. And it's, as the prepper adage, it's always better to have stuff that you don't need and wish you didn't have it than have stuff you don't have. Well, you know where I was going. I just lost my train of thought there, but Ken agrees with me. And Derek's talking about 2 coats, varying weights, ice fishing suit. There you go. 3 different head covers, over boots, 2 radios, so always plugged in while I'm traveling, so it's 100% when I bail out of the truck. And 2 sets of gloves. Because Derek lives pretty remote
In the mountains of Utah.
in the mountains of Utah, and his work takes him way more remote than that, where he'll be out in what we call bumfuck Egypt, and he is on his own. So if you think Derek is a little crazy for carrying 2 coats and 3 different head covers and over boots and radios and blah blah blah, yeah, he's making sure he makes it home to his wife and kids and chickens. All right, I'll bite. What the hell is a Chevrolet?
Chevrolet. I guess is 2 feet.
Oh, there you go. Chevrolet leg. Uh-huh. Got it. I'm slow sometimes.
Yep. Is that a dad joke?
Yeah. I get it. It's funny now. Murphy's. All right. So there, I think we got it covered.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
put as
is
much
one of those topics where I didn't know if
put in
it
all the
go,
stuff you need.
yeah, I didn't know if it go for 5 minutes or 5 hours. You know, but it's early yet. We've kind of went before where we thought we were done and we're going to call it good after 15, 20 minutes, and then all of a sudden it's like hour 2.5. We're watching drag racing dog videos that Kyle brought on for us.
Forget about that.
All right, so well, okay. We covered the topic, but off the tangent that we brought up because this channel's about the outdoors and with a little bit of prepping undertone to it and EDC gear and tools and all that stuff. But let's get back to the homesteading prepping type stuff. Gardening is way cool. Oh wait, we got a comment. Oh, and Ken's bracking up my point about UTV, and you never know if you're going to be in a group or on your own and stuff. And he and his wife, they're never in a group. They're weekday riders, so not much traffic on the trails. So comms are important. There you go. That makes perfect sense. So he's more of a avoid the crowds kind of guy, like I am, and goes out during the weekdays when the trails aren't so crowded and dusty and all that stuff. So that makes sense. So definitely see where he wants to keep his rig, which is a nice little rig that you see there as his YouTube icon. Load it up because you never know what you're going to run into. So, so back to gardening. I've gotten into gardening more this year, just as yet another thing to do and to supplement my food bill and this growing day. Doing yeah, words are hard. This day and age of things being uncertain of supply chains and stuff, I just like to have a little buffer. Not to mention it's kind of fun. So I've been doing a little more gardening this year, planning next year. And like I said, north of the 45th parallel, our growing season is like end of May into August, and it's grow what you can in 3.5 months, and that's all you get because rest of the time it gets a little frosty. And Norm, you seem to have a longer growing season, but it's in 2 shifts in the spring and in the fall. So that's
Well, you have about I counted there. You have about 4 months growing season, which is pretty normal.
yep.
And yeah, we have the same, but we have 2 growing seasons. We have our last frost date is usually around Valentine's, middle of February. So after Valentine's Day, we plant our spring crops, and then by all right, we'll just leave that there, Greg. Yeah, and then that's all done by late May, early June, and then the temperatures all stay in the 90s during the day, so your normal annuals don't really flower anymore. So it's time to pull everything up and then wait for end of September, early October, when temperatures reliably are under 90 again, and plant, and then you can start harvesting. Like I just started harvesting beets and radishes yesterday, so it's mid November. Probably do that throughout December.
Sure. Yeah, because you got me kind of jealous this spring for me. I had pepper plants I just started behind me on my little shelf behind there with the UV grow lights and everything.
Next to
Getting
your
ready
marijuana.
for, yep, getting ready for to get them started so I can put them in the ground, like a month later when the frost is out. And you're showing me pictures of peppers that you're ready to harvest. And I'm like, what the hell? That's not fair.
Yeah, but like I said, during the middle of summer, not much is growing. You can grow some okra, some collard greens, some Asian greens too. Will do well in the heat, but not much. So, and I have a fig tree, which does very well down here. So I have figs several times a year. That usually gives me 2 crops a year. And I used to have 12 citrus trees until the big freeze a few years ago that killed them all back. So I was just drowning in citrus fruit for a while.
Yeah, that was the year our friend Mike K. MRD from the ham radio world decided to move from Michigan to Texas to get away from the cold, and he brought the cold with him.
Yeah, and we had 20. It was in the 20s for like 48 hours.
Yep.
And crap went down.
I'll never forget that, because when that cold snap happened was literally the time when he moved down there, and was like, what the hell?
And I just decided I'll just stay away from the tropical kind of plants for now and just do stuff that can freeze and I don't care about.
Sure.
So when you plant, do you plant in the ground? Because here we have solid clay soil, so it's not really good for plants. So everything we have to do is built in raised beds.
Yeah. Well, around here, the soil is different, really different around the state because of the glaciers and stuff.
Yeah.
Where I'm at specifically, it's sand, it's sugar sand. So planting in the ground, about the only thing that grows good is potatoes, carrots, and that kind of stuff. Literally 5 miles down the road from me, it's heavy red clay. It's crazy. But for me, I don't have good soil, so I built planter boxes this year.
Yeah.
I've had an in-ground garden that I've tried for a while, and I haven't had that going for 4 years now. And I used to plant mostly potatoes and squash in that, which worked pretty good. And then I had a container garden on the deck. Learned a lesson, don't call it a pot garden. Because I mentioned that I had a pot garden on my deck at the local establishment when I first got into gardening, and strange people started showing up at my house at weird hours. Because they thought I had something else going on. But now I graduated from having a container garden into having raised garden beds that I've built. And that works great because, as you know, I gotten into the raising the quail, so I got tons of compost now. So,
Oh yeah.
That's I got both into the raised garden bed gardening and the quail raising this summer. So obviously next summer is going to be quite a bit better, but yeah, I raised garden beds. Again, growing squash, green beans, and peppers were what I did this year. Kept it pretty simple, but will it be expanding more?
Yeah. And I think for, a small family, raised beds are a way to go. It just makes it so much easier.
Oh yeah.
And then you have that, if you have that sand-based soil, you just have to add tons and tons of compost. You could get it over several years, really nice soil, but it'd be a lot of work.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just for a year or two I put put a bunch of compost down, got from a local farm and some old horse manure and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And it just
It decomposes, goes
yeah,
away.
it's it's I don't even know a good analogy. It's just dump myself into a bottomless hole. It didn't do any good. So
I
the
do
raised
like the
bed for
raised
me is
beds.
the way to go.
Mhm. Just looking at the comments here.
Oh, there
Yeah,
ain't
Greg
nobody
says
watching, so there
he's
ain't gonna
being
be much.
good.
Oh yeah, your brother Greg. Yeah, he's being a good boy.
Yeah. This is his busy time of year.
Oh yeah.
Since he's a grocery store manager, you can imagine how around Thanksgiving all the way to Christmas is just super busy.
Oh yeah.
So I don't
Oh
really see him much between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
yep. All the seasonal stuff coming in and all the craziness. Yep, for sure.
We went to the Hoosier Hills Ham Fest. I drove up there from Houston to Greg's house in southern Indiana, and his ham club was putting on their annual ham fest first week of November. So that was pretty nice.
Cool.
And they had a pretty good turnout, and I was surprised at it was probably the ham fest that I saw the best deals I've ever seen at.
Oh.
Just people selling stuff at good regular prices that you could respect. It's like no one was overpricing stuff. It's just like, yep, that's about how much it's worth. I'll buy it. So
Wow, Indiana where people are honest. Oh. So shit, I think we're all gas, boys.
yeah.
Or boy. What do you think? Should we pull the pin? Or should we
Sure.
keep on trucking?
Now do we want to pick out an EDC thing for January?
Ooh. What do we want to do? I don't know. Oh, hang on a second. I gotta quick grab something.
All right. I'll hold down the fort.
All right. You hold down for it.
All right. Hello, every 3 YouTubers watching. Shane is going to grab something. He's on hold right now. I'll be back with you shortly. All right, see you later, Ken. Thanks for joining us.
Ken gave up on us.
Yeah. Wish us a good Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah. Thanks, Ken. Take care, my friend. What I wanted to show is Sam brought up, I can't remember if it was during the stream or before, we're talking about vehicle toolkits and building things out.
Oh no, it must have been you and Sam because I wasn't involved in that conversation. So interested in that.
Yeah, so he's talking about building out toolkits, and I just picked this guy up as something that a lot of people have seen as decline tools, multiple screwdriver set. I think this is like 11 in 1. And he was talking about building out, like something you'd fit into a Maxpedition size pouch, maybe something a little bigger than this, or maybe not. Where you can, if you break this thing down a little bit, you can fit that for sure, and some other tools. But we're talking about the idea of building out a toolkit that you keep in your vehicle at all times. I was thinking of it, not only is it nice to have a toolkit in your vehicle, but I don't have a lot of tools. I don't have the old rollout cabinet or anything. And for me, it'd make more sense to have a lot of the tools that I use on a day-to-day basis or a week-to-week basis, instead of scattered throughout my house and my garage, in my truck, to just have it centralized in my truck. Because generally, if I'm going to be working on anything at home, if I'm at home, my truck's at home, so have everything there makes sense. And then it's with me if I'm out traveling or if I'm at my buddy's house working on a project, or if I broke down on the side of the road. And having everything in one central location seems like a novel idea to me. So that might be an idea of stuff. Or maybe something like this screwdriver set that I just showed. For those, Klein Tools has a pretty good following in the EDC world. They're not outrageously expensive and they're pretty high quality. We could probably do something like that. And also I was hoping your brother would be on because, I normally do the EDC live unboxings and then carry them for a month type of thing. And it's usually on the more budget friendly stuff, but I went and I splurged and I got one of those skeleton tools.
Oh wow. Yeah, we'll definitely have to talk about that with Greg on.
Yeah, we'll say that for Greg to show up. Yeah, they're not cheap, less Leatherman, and no, not a dig on them because Leatherman definitely is a high quality item, but I've had this bad boy on my radar for years, and I've actually talked to your brother about it because he actually brought up that he thought these things were kind of cool, and I could never justify buying one. And yeah, it's definitely a topic on its own. The thing is, well, it ain't new. The thing's been out for a decade plus, but boy, howdy, it's been a game changer for me. I'll just leave it at
really?
that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting hearing that.
Yeah.
About that. Yeah. So Greg and I had a discussion on kind of car tool kits.
Yeah.
And what should we carry? And we kind of came to the conclusion together that, hey, well, I'm just gonna make sure I have a tire and iron and a jack and a properly inflated spare tire and a cheap Harbor Freight toolkit with just a
Mhm.
screwdriver, couple ratchet heads and stuff. Because I'm driving around in my wife's 2002 newer Volkswagen. I popped the hood on there. There's nothing I can fix.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm going to be wrenching on the carburetor or anything.
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
For the Gen Xers and stuff, it is for me. My first vehicle is you open up the hood, and you can see the ground.
Yeah.
And
That's how my truck still is.
yeah, and there's the alternator, there's the starter, there's the spark plugs and everything else. And they were simple enough where if you didn't know what you're doing, you could still mess with it a little bit. Now my truck, I open up the hood and I see housings and covers. I
Yep.
see plastic,
It's just a big, like you open up the hood on my wife's car. It's just a plastic. It's like a fake engine,
Yep.
but that's molded out of plastic. Looks
Yeah,
really
it's just a
nice.
bunch of plastic covers and stuff,
Mm.
and it's like, oh. And now it's like you bring it in and it's got they plug your car into their scanner and tell you what's wrong with it. And it's like,
Yeah, a good thing to have is a knife, and a some maybe some hose clamps and silicone tape,
mhm,
because anything I've ever fixed on the road has been a flat tire, a dead battery, or a busted hose.
right.
And you can still fix all of those
Oh yeah.
on the road,
Yep.
but pretty much anything else on these newer cars,
Yeah.
yeah, you're not gonna want a 200 piece um ratchet set and ratchet and socket set. You really don't need that
Yep.
in your car.
Yeah. And kind of what I alluded to also is your portable toolkit. It's not necessarily working on your vehicle, but you're somewhere and you need to fix something.
Yeah.
Like I said, you could be at your work and you need to fix something at your buddy's house or whatever, or for you, you got your sailboat and stuff. There might be some maintenance stuff you want to do on your sailboat. Me with my camper and stuff and what have you.
So I have a full I have toolboxes galore in the garage and stuff, but this sits in the house.
Yep.
And this is a Harbor Freight tool bag and pretty much has everything I need to do stuff around the house or even the boat.
Sure.
So, got my screwdrivers, got a couple of hammers. This
Yep.
thing weighs quite a bit, but yeah, it's all there.
It's funny. I got a bag that looks very, very similar to that.
And that
Excuse me.
just keeps me from having to run out in the garage anytime
Yep.
I have to hammer a nail in.
Right on.
All right, so when's the next time you're going to be doing this?
Oh, the third week in December, probably.
All right, and you'll be having something on your regular channel. The first week of December.
Yeah, first week in December. Yep.
All right. Got any plans?
No, I don't. We should probably talk about what we were going to talk about the last time, but then we forgot for like a month or two. So yeah, Wednesday, December 3rd, we'll have something on the Scout 75 channel for ham radio related or portable radio. And then on the 17th, we'll do the EDC thing. And we'll talk amongst ourselves on what we want to do.
Okay.
I don't
good.
know. Whatever you think. I'm out of gas. I got nothing to say. We weren't really prepared, but then again, nobody watches this, so.
No, I'm never prepared unless I make a PowerPoint presentation.
I know it. I'm an engineer too.
If I can pop up a PowerPoint presentation, I can go for hours. So
For sure.
yeah, I'll make one next time.
Sure, we'll have to come up with a good topic, but yeah, I don't know. We should probably have more than you and I on before we decide if we want to do another, inexpensive Amazon purchase. Hey, let's all get this thing and try
Yeah.
it out for a month. Because if you leave us two alone, we'll pick something that nobody else will like. But F them. That's their fault for not showing up. Well, what do you think? You know what? Seriously, F them. What would you like to try? Do you have anything in your Amazon wish list that you would like to try?
That's what I was actually going to check out.
Yeah, bring up your Amazon wish list. What's a EDC/tool that's somewhat budget friendly? We try to be around the $20-$30 range, but we can splurge if it's something nice that you would like to try out. And more importantly, make the rest of us try out.
Let's see. One thing I did buy after watching a video on YouTube was a $22 Casio digital wristwatch.
Hey, watches are cool. I got 2 of them on.
And I was like, yeah, if everything went down, how would I know what time it is?
Yep.
Well, I could use my GPS. That would show it definitely, but you know what? I just buy everything.
There are some pretty inexpensive quality wristwatches out there.
Yeah, like I said, this was $22. And it's almost like a Casio G-Shock, but it's an Illuminator. It looks just like a G-Shock.
Sure.
And I've been wearing this to work. I just it's good size for me, and I just think it looks kind of old school and neat. Another thing I've been getting into is these because we talk about flashlights, is these little clip lights. So this is an old light.
I got one of those.
So this is the real small one they have.
Yep, I got one of those.
And it does have a magnet on it, and then on my backpack, which is my EDC, I've got the bigger one clipped on. So that's the bigger Olight one.
Sure.
And then they have an even larger one, but that one's enough to blind me.
Right. Yeah, I got the Olight clip light. I got one of those. I keep it in my one of my packs at all time. It's pretty cool. I like it a lot.
Oh, 1 second while we're talking about EDC stuff.
Sure.
I'll be right back.
All right. Well, now Norm's walked away. I'm holding the time. And I don't know why, because I have 0 people watching right now. But that's all right, because if anyone stumbles across this later, we're just screwing around and having fun and getting this stuff figured out. Just in case anybody ever decides to watch this, we're just getting practice in. So yeah, there's that. Oh, what else? What do you got, Norm?
So we kind of talked about this between us online. I was looking for a good knife to hook to my life vest when I go sailing.
Yeah.
And I have a few requirements for it. It's got to have a blunt tip, because when you're bouncing around on a sailboat or a dinghy, especially an inflatable dinghy, you don't want to drop it and have the tip go straight through you or anything inflatable.
Yeah.
Also need a serrated blade so you can cut through line very quickly. And I've been selling for 20 years now, and there's been 2 times that I've had to cut a jib sheet and another line on a boat when they just got tangled up and things were going downhill quickly. You can get yourself wrapped up around lines in the cockpit. Lines can get wrapped up around rigging on the boat, and especially in high winds and storms, sometimes it's just better to cut it. And you're costing yourself $100+ in line, but it's better than damaging the boat or yourself.
Right.
So
yeah, a lot of sailors. That's one thing that a lot of people don't realize, that sailors quite typically have a fixed blade knife on them all the time.
Yeah, and you kind of want it fixed blade, I carried a folding knife for a long time on my life jacket, and that's what I used in those 2 emergencies. But a fixed blade is just a lot quicker to pull out. So found this Mora knife.
Yep.
And it's red. It matches, so it's easy to see. Matches my red life jacket. And so here we go. We got blunt tip. So
okay, let me embiggen you a little bit here.
All right, if that was a real Mora tip, this is a Mora knife, that would go straight through me. But nope. Super sharp serrated blade at the bottom 3/4, and then the last quarter is a nice flat blade.
Yep.
So I was very happy with this. And it comes in a nice sheath.
Yep.
Like all the Moras do.
Yep.
And that clips on my life jacket, and it's not going anywhere.
Sure.
So then I found this one. This is the ugliest knife I've ever seen. But it's bright orange, fluorescent orange, cork handle, so it floats.
Is that Mora as well, or is it?
This is a Mora knife too.
Okay. Or is it
even blunter tip?
Sure.
So you can actually use that as a
butter knife,
a flathead screwdriver.
Oh, sure.
And again, 3/4 inch serrated blade, super sharp. And then
I've never seen one like that. That's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, this is almost 2, and I like how it fits my big hand.
Yep.
I don't need a super long knife. Just a nice handle so I can have firm grip on it. This is almost too light to use for EDC because it's not balanced at all, because the blade is way heavier than the cork handle.
Yeah, the cork.
Yeah, but it's real cork. It's not going, even if you have wet hands, it's not coming out of there.
Okay, so that is a purpose built. I don't have a Mora knife. I got one in my shopping list, and being into the EDC and the bushcraft stuff, Mora's got a great reputation of a very inexpensive but well-made knife.
Yeah. So what amazed me was I thought these would be the same blade, but they're both considered sailing knives. They're both blunt tipped. You can see this one's a lot more blunt. Because this one floats, is bigger on the handle just by a little bit, and the blade is thicker.
Yeah, it's much
which would
wider
come in handy if you're manhandling stuff. So this is going to be my new EDC on the sailboat.
That thing is pretty cool. I never seen a Mora knife with a cork handle like that. I didn't know they were that specialized.
But this one feels a lot better.
Yeah.
Just because it's balanced.
Yeah.
The other one, put that away. Yeah, this one's just the handle's way too light. But
Huh.
You're not using this every day. You're using it when you have an emergency and you need to cut something.
Right.
quickly.
That's cool.
The ugliest knife ever made. Love it.
Yep. Yeah, I got.
And hey, this is $22. This other one was 16.
Yeah, that's the thing with
Why not get both?
more knives. They're incredibly inexpensive. Or I shouldn't say. No, I will say it. They're very inexpensive. They're kind of nice.
Yeah, they have a few that are over like $40, but most of them are 20 and under.
Let's see if I got sharing the screen here. Yeah, this is the one that I have in my shopping list on Amazon.
Okay.
It's yeah, they got a couple different. I'm a sucker for the OD green ones,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, it's $14, and it's the same sheath that you have. It's got the handle. I mean,
What's
it's
interesting about the sheath, you see this little tag on it.
yeah, how you can stack them.
You can stack them. Yep. So you can just sit here and have 20 knives on your belt. Look like a total tool, but you'd be the
Yep.
tactical guy ever.
Yep, that is pretty cool.
But yeah, if you're having two knives, maybe you need one with a serrated edge and one with a straight edge. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I could come up with a thing to do that.
Oh hell's yes. So yeah, this is one I got. It's
All right, I can't see you.
all right, did I quit sharing?
I'm the only guy on the screen.
Oh, sorry.
That's fine. You're probably gonna get more viewers.
Let me quit freaking coughing. Da, da, da. There we go. So, yeah, here we go. Here's some of the stuff. There's those Klein tools I was talking about. I want to check out those socket sets. But there's a knife I was looking at. It's more of a bushcraft style knife, but it's more a knife. 3.6-inch blade. It's more of your classic drop point. Not a big belly on it, just nice and simple.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the same stackable blade style, because you can see here they got the little notch where you can clap them on. So yeah, this thing's it's what it's like 16. It's under $20, so it's like super crazy not to get it. Oh, here we go.
Hey guys,
Hey.
How
Thanks
you
for having
doing,
me.
Mike?
I'm doing good.
Good.
I am doing good.
Well, we're talking to ourselves now. We went through our topic. You know, every time I do one of these live streams, is one of two things where, oh, this topic's kind of lame. I don't think we're going to last 5 minutes. We end up talking for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Or this topic's going to be good, and we blast through it in about 15 minutes, and then we just go, oh, now what are we going to do? And that's kind of what we did. We actually ended the live stream, I think, 4 times now, where it was like, all right, well,
Hilarious.
this is about it. Let's just call it a night. And then we just went on going. But yeah, our topic was, and I know you reached out to me. You said this is a great idea.
Changing up EDC for the winter, right?
Yeah. And of course, I had Norm on and our buddy Sam, who was down in Alabama. So they're like, we don't really do much anything different. But
Yeah.
I went through how I'm in northern Wisconsin, and for me, just to kind of recap, I am a EDC flashlight kind of guy. I have this Olight Baton 3 that's on me all the time. I use it almost daily. But with the wintertime, with it literally being pitch black when I leave for work and pitch black when I get home, and it's being a rechargeable flashlight, every once in a while it goes a little dead on me. I've gotten into the habit the last few years where I carry a second flashlight with me.
Oh, really? Okay.
In my back pocket. This will always be in my front pocket, and I'll just drop it on the floor, but that's all right. And then this guy will be in my back pocket, and this is like my break it out in a real emergency type flashlight. It's more of a tactical style one,
Yeah.
higher lumens and everything like that. So if for whatever reason I gotta stop for car trouble or assist somebody else and this thing just kind of peters out, I got another light on me. And of course there's another light in the truck. And then the other thing for me, I like to carry in my truck a Maxpedition water bottle holder with a 32 ounce bottle of Nigene, or 32 ounce Nigene bottle of water with water in it, because it's never a bad idea to have extra water. And in the front I have some different goodies and stuff, bug spray and that kind of thing. Wintertime I don't need the bug spray, and having the water in my truck will just freeze. I typically have another water bottle with my office bag. So summertime, it makes sense to have 2 bottles of water because why not?
Yeah.
Wintertime, I don't need it as much. So that stuff goes away. But then in my truck will become like a pair of boots, a heavier jacket, just in case, and that kind of thing. So that's kind of the summary. First off, Mike, how the heck have you been? Haven't talked to you in a long time.
I've been doing good. It's with I got 2 boys, and schedules between after school stuff, whether it's sports or my son's in an after school program for architecture, construction, and engineering stuff where he goes to different job sites, or he goes to different firms, engineering, architecture firms. So he's got a lot of stuff going on. There's always stuff going on after school. It's just, and then the summer there's a lot of sports. And so, you get pulled in a million different directions, but I always love watching the live streams and these. And I was glad I was able to, there was, as I was joking earlier, there's no sports ball tonight for the kids or anything. So it's like, I can, I can kind of do what I want for a little.
Streams. Awesome.
Yeah, but no, it's all good. But I was excited when I saw it because I've done a couple things EDC related and switched up a couple things just recently. I've never thought about, and you've given me a couple things to think about. And I made a note when you were talking earlier that I'm going to probably put an extra flashlight on my work bag, that my little laptop bag, that is a little messenger one I carry in and out of work. Because it's dark when you go in, it's dark when you come out this time of year. But I did switch up a few things. And so I used to carry for years one of these very thin wallets, and it's got enough slots for a couple cards, ID, and cash. But I slimmed down the wallet years ago when I used to carry, and I don't know what you guys do with your wallets. Like there's a time where you had like wallet that you had every card, and that was back before like even like the grocery stores. Like now you could just put in your phone number and that's fine. But before you had to have, you got your card for CVS, for Wegmans, for Tops, for this, that, and stuff. And this is after the Blockbuster went under. Like I'm not, but I downsized with
Subway stamps.
Yeah. Yep.
For your Subway sandwiches, you fill that thing out, you get free 12-incher.
So I recently ditched this, and I'm rocking one of these Chums wallet things. And so that's the Apple tag that's on there. So I did cover up my license so that you can just see my Legion card in there. So my Sons of the American Legion, come find me at 1151. Okay. But it's got one pouch. So I got the ID and the cards in here. And then there's another zipper, and that's the cash. But there's this little pouch. And so what I did is I got rid of my keychain pretty much. And in there I can tuck the fob for my car. so that's kind of out of the way. And I can tuck in, I always keep my library card on there. There's actually some fun stuff that you can get ham radio related at the library, but it's another show. And then I got a flashlight, which I can tuck that into the pouch so it's out of the way. The only thing I wish Apple had smaller air tags, and I'm sure they will at some point, but I got rid of the keychain. So this is what I carry along with a knife.
Yep.
And because it's the winter season, I carry like some of the winter Victorinox. And that's a cadet one. So it's small, it's thin. I have to wear dress clothes for work, whether I'm in a full suit or I'm just in like dress pants and a tie and stuff. So this wallet, with the keys in it, it's not too big. It's a little bit bigger because the fob is in there for the car. And then, I mean, this thing it disappears in a pocket easily. It's a good bit of tools with the openers and the file and the blade on this. So this is, I'll carry this till like probably February. It'll be my winter one just because it's like the winter one. But this was a big change, and I just recently swapped out the light on here. KMRD Mike Scott has shown this quite a bit. This is one of the little O-light ones that you pull it off.
Yep.
And then it's what's nice about that is it's magnetic. And so, you can, I mean, geez, like if you needed to make like a quick bathroom in the woods, like you can take your blade out, put it in the tree, clip the magnet, boom, then you got like a light hanging down or whatever, whether you just want to see where you're going or you need to do something. Those
just don't stand too close to the tree in case the knife drops.
Yeah. But I used to have, and so I brought all kinds of show and tell, but I don't have a good camera. I used to have one of these little O-lights, USB-C rechargeable, that was on the keychain.
Yeah.
And then on my keychain, I'd always have like a smaller Victorinox too. And these are nice. These O-light ones, they're USB-C and they got two different settings, but they're rotatable. And so sometimes I'd realize my pocket was glowing if it moved just enough. Whereas the other one is magnetic. Now it doesn't have USB-C. It's got the regular USB-A built into it.
Okay.
But if we find the perfect blade, the perfect torch, the perfect antenna, whatever, like we'll stop buying them, right? Like,
yeah.
So I just kind of mixed it up. Like this has been a few months.
Well, you find one that's perfect until
yeah.
one of your friends shows you their new one, and you're like, okay, now I gotta get the perfect one.
Yeah, but the other EDC thing, which is sort of winter related, because I just started doing this last week. I wanted to do it because everyone's done their take on the Baofeng Mini, and I was like, you know what, this thing is so small. I'm going to EDC it. So I've been carrying this with me every day since whenever I started last week, maybe on Tuesday or so. I brought it to a conference last week. I spoke on stage with this in my blazer pocket. Nobody could know, but it's like that small enough that I've worn it to work. I've had it in, suit pockets and stuff. And, nobody said, hey, is that a Baofeng in your pocket or your ham radio is showing? Like no one said that. No one's noticed. And that might actually be the niche for that little radio is something that you could easily carry. Because I've never EDC'd a radio. I've brought radios with me and stuff, but I've never made an effort to carry it every day for a while. Smart Jason KM4ACK, I think, did a video and did something a while back on EDCing HTs and stuff. Yeah. And it's been in the back of my mind.
One, the closest to EDCing a ham radio is I'll keep one on occasion on my backpack that I carry to work and stuff like that. But physically on me, it's not. And it's funny. On X a while ago, you made a post doing your typical EDC pocket dump.
Yep.
And your whole point was to bring attention to that Baofeng Mini.
Yeah.
That you had your wallet on there, and right away, both me and our friend Tom, Tango,
Yep.
Oscar, Mike pointed out to your wallet going, hey, I got a similar wallet set up.
Yep.
And that's funny because this is a topic I want to bring up too, is I too have done, excuse me, just cold still. The downsizing of the wallets that we've all done. Like you said, for many years, it's been the trifold wallet that's this thick that's given my hip problems. Many years ago, I switched to a slimmer one in the front pocket from the vise of my chiropractor, and I went down to like what you're showing, just a minimalist wallet.
Yeah.
And then I found trying to get all my junk that I carry in my pocket between my wallet, my keys, a pen, a lighter, a flashlight, and all this other miscellaneous stuff that there's around. I wanted to condense it all, and that's what I ended up doing. The same thing is I got this pouch style wallet.
Yep.
Which I got the keys to my house on it, and the fob for my truck. For my Jeep, I got a separate keychain, but regardless, when I leave the house, I got my keys and my wallet all in one thing. Things aren't rattling around. It's the nice material that's protected for your IDs and stuff, the RF blocking stuff. Zipper pull, you bring up the inside, and it's got two divisions, and it's nice, bright orange, so it lights up.
Oh yeah.
So
is that like a felt? And is that like a?
That's like a nylon type.
Oh, okay. I couldn't tell on the camera the orange, but all right.
But I got the C Camp Meshtastic device that's size of a credit card. That fits in there along with my licenses and ID cards and everything, and then the credit. I keep forgetting I got camera. I got all my cards in there: your ID, your insurance, your blah blah blah, your bank cards.
All right, let's see one of those cards. Just show the front and the back, real quick.
Yep.
Make sure they're real.
Gotta check the expiration date.
Pocket here, where I keep a little cash, some Band-Aids.
I got a couple of Band-Aids in mine. Yeah.
A couple of Band-Aids. Norm was picking on me that I had these in my water bottle thing, but the little toothpick things that you get from the dentist. What else is interesting in there? Nothing too interesting. Oh, yeah. I got my Apple AirTag in there.
Okay.
See, so that's all in there. On the outside, it has a couple of pouches. This one I don't have anything in, but on this side, I got the ubiquitous Bic cigarette lighter. Even though I don't smoke, it's very handy to have flame with you. I use it quite often. And I got the Fisher Space Pen. So right here, I got some comm stuff, all my IDs, some prepper type stuff. With, I think also there's a little cordage, like some what's it called? The Kevlar cordage and stuff like that. Band-Aids, that kind of stuff. And again, it keeps all that stuff in a nice compact space. So I'm with you. Well, 4 or 5 months ago, I picked this thing up and decided to give it a go, and it's been no looking back. This has been a game changer. And our friend Tom Tingle Oscar Mike, fantastic Camrail YouTube channel.
Yeah,
he had a different brand one. Is like, yeah, I'm.
I think he has the same one as I do, the Chums one.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
So there you go, Norm. You gotta be like the cool kids here and get yourself a pouch wallet.
Well, I just wrote it down actually.
It's funny you mentioned the Fisher Space Pen because before I came down and I had to go in like my little drawer where I got my knives and lights and other things, and I was like, oh, I gotta bring down like some of the older stuff. I was like, I saw one of the space pens. I'm like, ooh, will that fit in the pouch? Will it be too crowded and stuff? Because normally, I should have showed one of the knives I EDC a lot is Victorinox Compact.
Yep.
And one of the things that this has is it does have, nope, that's the toothpick. This has got a pen in it. So it does have, if I could, yeah, of course, because it's live, I can't pull it out. There. It's got one of the pens. Like it's not the most practical thing, but that's always been, and it was the same thing with this is a manager keychain. And so this has got a pen that, which is really cool. You just push a button on the top and it slides, a pen slides out. And so you can write.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, I was like, I realized just before coming on, I'm like, I don't have a pen like I normally do, you know, and it's one of those things. So I might stick the Fisher in there. It's the winter and it'll write in any temperature pretty much. So
Yep. It's funny. It's as a guy that likes to do this kind of stuff. You know, like I started off before is when people talk about carrying a flashlight, I'm like, why do you, okay, I get it, but why? I don't see myself carrying it. And then also I started doing it and you find yourself using it more and more often. And you're like, how did I ever live without carrying a flashlight in me all the time? And the same thing with a pen, you know, it's those things where it's funny how something that starts off as a novelty becomes a necessity once you get used to having it with you and using it quite often.
Yeah, and you start to realize if when you carry a flashlight, some of the pros and cons of some of the things. Like I have one of the ones I like a lot is a Through Night, and it's a Through Night T something. It's a little bit smaller. It's got a lot of firepower, but it's a little girthy as far as the barrel. And it's got the magnetic tail cap, which is nice. And I got it with the natural light or the natural white instead of the cool white, which is kind of nice. And it's adjustable, lots of settings. I carry that all the time when I travel or if I'm doing late shift POTAs. But that it's short, but it's thick and it fits weird in the pocket because of that.
Right.
Then I got a smaller USB rechargeable one I like Through Night stuff, but I do got some smaller Olights, and that had a tail switch on it. Now it went in your pocket beautifully because it is nice thin. But the tail switch, I realized, like you're sitting down or you move, and next thing you know, you hit the tail switch unless it's got a cover, and then it's like, oh. So it's like we say, like when we find the perfect one, we'll realize. And you know, it's I like that Olight keychain one that I was carrying for a while with the 2 settings, but it twists and turns on and off, but it's got USB-C. The other one's got a magnet, which is beautiful, but there's no settings. And if and it's regular USB charging, so it's like you can't win.
And that's why in the wintertime I carry the 2, because you know this is the one I carry all the time. This is the Olight Baton, you know, smaller size one.
That's the size I was talking about for the Through Night one that I have, like the T something. Yep, very similar.
And I like it. It's rechargeable. It's lightweight. It doesn't take up much space. It has multiple settings on it for brightness.
Like the double-sided pocket clip, you can put it on your hat. And,
So it's very practical. It's very useful, utilitarian. But like I said, the downside is you don't pay attention to it. It goes dead, especially if you use it a lot.
Okay.
So in the wintertime, I carry the more tactical, and this is about as tactical as you can get, flashlight from Surefire. It's their E2T Tactician, designed in part by James Yeager, the old firearms instructor. And this thing is tail cap, momentary on only in one setting. So there's the logic behind that is for tactical self-defense type stuff.
Mhm. Yep.
Less stuff to think about. It only does one thing, and it only does one thing well, which is awesome. But you get that added reliability, durability, simple use, but no function. You only have one setting, which is like blind your eyes out bright, only momentary on. This guy has more versatility, but there's the more things you have, the more things go wrong. So there's arguments. You'll see guys who will argue in the forums where this is the only way to go, and other guys going, this is the only way to go. You're stupid if you do this because of the pros and cons. And I'm in the middle going, why not carry both?
Yeah.
Have them all, guys who argue, you have a fixed blade. Well, you have to have a folder. And it's like, well, you got 2 pockets. Why don't have both?
Nope.
They're all tools. There's no perfect tool. In my aspect, where it's a knife, a flashlight, or anything else, arguing that one's better than the other is like arguing is a vice grip better than a pliers. It's like, no, they're not. They're 2 different tools that do similar things. Use whichever you need for the right option. If you can only have one, pick the one that you think is going to be most useful for you.
Yep. Yeah, there's one when I was seeing, when you were talking about some of the tactical ones, there's one I keep by my side of the bed. They don't make it anymore. I just searched quick. It was by WowTac, which was like, I think, an off brand of Through Night, because I think it would say like WowTac, but serviced by Through Night or something. But they had one very similar in size to one of the ones you were showing. But you could stand it up on the tail switch. So it had like a crown bezel around the tail switch so that you could stand it up either way. And then, of course, it had a really nice crown bezel around the front as well. So you could set it down and turn it on and just get a very little bit of light coming out the bottom, but you had that crown bezel for, tactical purposes and stuff like that. And that was a real nice budget one. I probably paid like $20-$30 for it. I see some similar ones on Amazon as I'm looking quick, just with different brand names, same, but ultimately the same concept. But, you realize things like I was talking about standing it up. Can you stand it up on either side or, or not? Or what happens when you set it down? Is it going to roll away? And there's all these weird considerations. Flashlights are totally a rabbit hole, clearly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's all, I think we're all agree that there's no one be all end all solution for any of your EDC needs. What is ideal for me may be so for Norm and completely useless for Mike. It just depends on what your situation is, what you use, what your skills are, or what your applications are.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scout and I were just chatting. I'm getting into these small clip-on flashlights. So this is
I love that one. I have that on my ICOM 705 bag, so it's always in the car. That magnetic.
One's awesome. You can't use it on your hat, but you can always clip
I put it in my
shirt.
pocket, or like when I in the winter when I got a coat on, I'll zip it down just a little bit and clip it on the front. And those are awesome. I love that light.
I got one too,
and it's so much slimmer than a round one.
Yep. Yeah.
Only thing is, can't clip it on the hat.
Yeah.
One downside, but they can figure out how to do that, then I think that'd be an awesome form factor.
Yeah. If I know I'm out late, usually like, if I'm doing a late shift POTA or if I'm going to go play radio in the evening during the winter, I have a dedicated headlamp. I'll bring that. I have enough stuff to get by if it's an impromptu, like, I'm going to go play radio or do something after dark on my way home from work. But you can never have too much.
Yeah.
Just showing close up what everyone's talking about here is the Olight O clip. As you can see, it's got a real nice clip on it.
Yeah.
It's USB-C. It's got the cover
Mhm.
there. So this will just clip right on to whatever you got here. Whether it's you put it right onto
Throw it in your
your
shirt. Yeah.
right into your shirt like this,
Yep.
or more realistically like this. You can
Mhm.
kind of go with a pretty slick, or if you're backpacking or whatever onto the strap of your backpack or what have you. Or you could just move it around like this. Very small, very light, compact. Just a nice little nice little light to throw into your kit,
And
especially
I
when you're
believe
backpacking.
these are super cheap.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is a little larger one. And
Okay.
so we've got 3 light settings here, but I really like
Oh.
the red setting.
Oh, sure.
That's one. Yeah, I have something that's got the red.
Yeah.
That's neat. Yeah.
So
It
you can
is
see
fun.
how much smaller this
Oh,
one's
okay.
quite
Maybe
a
I
bit.
got the orange one on the right. Yeah, because I know I
Yeah.
got the red.
But that red light's super useful at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, the little old clip is definitely something to
Mm-hmm.
pick up if you like little EDC flashlights.
Yeah, when I started getting into knives and EDC stuff, sometime in like the last decade, I I was a little bit adverse to Olight because at the time it seemed like a lot of their stuff had proprietary chargers and things, and so
Yep.
I was like, no, I want just something that's micro USB or USB-C, something that I can easily just plug into cables I have and stuff, which is funny because I'm an Apple fanboy, and so everything I use has to have a dongle because it's Apple or whatever,
Yep.
But I'm thinking, nope, when it comes to flashlights, nope, I want something with a standard.
It's funny you bring up when Olight came onto the scene, and they came bursting onto the scene because they realized the value of YouTube and the content creators, because they gave
Yeah.
it seems like they gave these to everybody.
Yep.
At the time, most of my YouTube content was like firearms related or camping and hiking. So of course those genres got a lot. Every gun tuber or backpacker or EDC gear, they were doing Olight. It was like Olight around the clock.
Yeah.
But it seemed to be like even you put on a random YouTube channel for like a 6-month period, and it would be some middle-aged housewife going, okay, I'm going to show you a great chicken recipe that's keto friendly, it's budget friendly, my family loves it, it takes 10 minutes to prep. But first, let's look at this light I got from Olight. It's like, oh my God, I can't get away from Olight. It's like, it literally felt like that every time I went on the YouTube. Somebody was hacking. I'm like, instantly, it's like, all right, I hate Olight. But a friend of mine that I worked with had one. I think it was like the first baton. He gave it to me to check out. I'm like, all right, this is not just cheap crap. This is actually a nice light.
Yeah.
And then I became an Olight fan. But yeah, I blame Olight a lot for the YouTube influencer. Click the link below.
Well, look at in full disclosure, like I was sent this for free. For free, from Radioddity. They sent me the GMRS ones first. And then I did it, and I've been doing some GMRS stuff, and I'm actually liking learning more about GMRS as I go along. I think it's good to know some of this stuff. But yeah, they sent it there, and they've sent those things out to, it seems like, everybody. And stuff. But at the same time, you look at all the content that has gotten generated, for those and stuff. And it's been interesting for me because, like I said, having got a GMRS one first, it's forced me to play with that and think a little bit more outside the box. And then by the time I got the others, so much stuff has been done. I was like, what hasn't been done? Well, I'm going to carry it every day. I used it for WinLink today.
Awesome.
I did a video from the hotel last week doing APRS
yeah.
with it. Like, I'm
Yep.
going to do the things no one else is doing and just show like, hey, if it fits your use, then maybe this is something of interest,
Yeah.
and stuff. But ultimately, like you were saying with the flashlights and Olight, they flood the market, as far as content, and they get a lot of exposure.
Yeah. And it's they figured it out. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's we're just talking earlier when we're kind of winding things down, I think for the second time, about what's coming up. And then Wednesday, December 3rd will be the live stream for the Scout 75 channel
Okay.
at the portable radio. And we're kind of thinking what the topic will be, but maybe we might touch base on GMRS because I did buy, I don't have it right next to me, that the Redivest 25-watt GMRS repeater, the little suitcase.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
Yeah, so
Yes.
maybe we could,
Okay.
that could be the topic of why GMRS repeaters would be useful and stuff like that. And it's
Yeah.
it's not a cheap piece of equipment, but it's, when you talk about repeaters, it's downright dirt cheap on what it is. So
I think, did Steve Temporary Offline do something on that repeater recently? And I feel like I saw something on that repeater and it being close enough where it might be able to actually work in the ham bands too. But the challenge is something like it won't do like the ID correctly, but there might be workarounds.
Yeah, there's workarounds. I bought
Yeah.
aftermarket idea for it, so we can go over that too.
Awesome.
Yeah, Steve has some videos on it. Smart Jason does.
Maybe, yeah.
Ham
Maybe I thought that too.
Not a Rubicon, of course, does. Formerly Ham Radio Dude Tested.
Dude tested. Sean.
Yeah. Yep, Sean. I just want to call him Sean. Yeah, there's some content creators that have stuff on it. I haven't shot a video on it because I haven't done crap for shooting videos. I take that back. I got probably about 7 hours worth of videos to put out. I just got to edit them. But maybe we can just go over that and some other stuff on a live stream. So maybe I saw your eyes light up when I brought it up. So if you're available on the 3rd of December, if you want to join us, I'll definitely have you on the show because you're a friend of ours and we'd like to have you on.
Yeah. No, my club's meeting is, full disclosure, is December 3rd.
Yeah.
I might be presenting on logging apps with a couple other people.
Yeah.
So, but that's it remains to be seen. So if I don't do that, then I will definitely be there on the GMRS thing.
Yeah. And
that'd be cool.
It seems like all my friends have a YouTube channel or two, and there's live streams going on constantly. And then of course there's this thing called life and family and friends. So you're always more than welcome. And if you can't make it, it's totally expected for the most part, because life is crazy busy, but definitely show up if you can. Because I saw your eyes light up when I said that I had it, so I know I got your interest. So
no, I think my mantra in ham radio, the whole leave no band behind, and I got a CB antenna on the way, and then I got a CB. I got to do some playing around with that, which is something I've never done. I'm gonna have like the reverse of a lot of hams, where a lot of hams are like, oh, I got my start in CB and was on 11 meters, and then eventually I'm gonna go like totally in reverse. Like I had my amateur extra, and now I'm working back. Now I'm doing GMRS, and then I'm about to start doing some CB stuff. But I think there's a lot that you learn and stuff when you start playing with some of these different different services, because you're on a different playing field. And and there's a lot to learn about, and I think it's beneficial, and whether it's just from a learning standpoint, from a preparedness standpoint, or or just having fun.
Yeah. And it goes back to what I was ranting about before, where it comes to this flashlight versus that, or this knife versus that. Same thing of radio frequencies. You have people who are screaming, "Oh, you gotta be ham or you're nothing," or people saying ham's too complicated. I want GMRS, it's simpler and stuff like that. And they're going back and forth, and then the ham guys will go, "We have more capability and more access of ham," and other people are saying, "Well, GMRS is just simpler. My kids can use it. The licensing is easier." And I'm sitting there going, "Why not both?"
I know.
They're just tools. Just
it used to be $70 for the GMRS. It used to be $70 for the GMRS.
Yep.
And then it was nothing for your tech, and now it's 35 and 35.
Yep.
Like, you can do both for the same price.
Like, there's people that poo-poo GMRS because it's channelized and you don't have this many options. It's like, yeah, but the license is just filling out a form and giving the government my money, and that license covers my whole family except for my cousins.
Exactly.
I mean, literally your whole family except for your cousins. Your license will cover you, your spouse, your kids, your grandkids, your parents, your grandparents, your aunts and uncles, your brother-in-laws, your sister-in-laws, your brothers and sisters, but not your cousins.
Yeah. I think it's really, from a family standpoint, the first GMRS videos I did on a family vacation, and Radiodity had asked, "Do you want to try out these these new GMRS radios?" And my first thought when I read the email was, I have a license. I got one radio. I haven't done anything with it other than program in like 2 repeaters, and that's about it. And I was like, but wait, where we're going on vacation, we have very spotty cell service. Literally, where you go from getting 1 to 2 bars in the kitchen in the cottage to, if you walk out to the water right on Lake Ontario, you get 1 to 0 bars. And I was like, it might be handy. And I was like, send them, because I'm going to use these on a family vacation. And we did. And when my wife and my son would go walk the dog, I give, I jokingly call him my unlicensed son, the one that doesn't have his general ticket, "Here, take the radio," and he kind of was like, "Oh, this is fun," here and there, I don't know it's going to be the gateway for him or not, but he had no problem using it and stuff. And it was very practical, because we were a family on vacation somewhere where cell service was spotty, and it gave us a way that you could easily communicate. And I think there's very practical applications for it. And I was glad that kind of made me really rethink, like, oh yeah, I should actually play with this more and do some more with it. So
yeah, for sure. It's I'm the eyes wide open kind of guy too, and don't limit yourself to the fun and the practicality of going outside your comfort level of your hobbies and your interests and your passions, and just have fun with it.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, here's what
your tech, so you can do some data modes.
I sent this to our buddy Sam, who was on earlier. "Gee, Sam, why did the FCC give you 2 licenses?" "Because they had nothing better to do, and I gave them $70. So that's why you should get your GMRS license."
Nice.
That's fun. Oh lordy. Yeah, that's about all we got. We went all over the place tonight. It turned
this
into
is fun though. I like talking about this stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure. We got to keep it up and do it more. I gotta get back in the habit of doing these things more regularly and get some content out. For this channel, I got a video in the works from a recent camping trip. 2 weekends ago, I went up to the North Shore of Minnesota, camped out in the freezing weather with my teardrop. Woke up with
Oh yes, I saw it. I know what you're talking about. I
Yep.
saw your posts.
Yeah, I
Twitter.
woke up. Yeah, I posted
That's
some
really
pictures
cool.
on X. Woke up with frost on the camper or frost on my sleeping bag. Checked out a pretty cool lighthouse that they light once a
Yeah.
year on November 10th in memorial of the Edmund Fitzgerald. And to tie into the ham radio side of things, one of the clubs in our area has a special event from there, so I got to participate in that. It was the classic. I show up to their station just to say hi. They give me the tour, and the next thing I know, I'm pulling 2 shifts running the special event on 20 meters, having a blast. So,
Cool.
yeah.
I'm looking
So,
forward to that. I saw your post and I was like, oh wow, that and it seemed like, and I saw stuff from other people, not just you. I was like, wow, this is. I first saw about it from your posts, but then I realized this is a really big deal. This is a really, really special big event, very solemn too.
yeah.
But very cool to be there for that and then participate and share it in that way.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty cool. The lighthouse in question, I gotta say it slow with my speech impediment. Split Rock Lighthouse is very iconic. If you saw the pictures of it, I mean, it is like a classic lighthouse. It's up on a sheer cliff above Lake Superior, old, built by brick,
Okay.
prosthetic lens, the whole 9 yards. It was built in 1910, and it was decommissioned in 1968 or 1969, I believe. And afterwards, the state of Minnesota took it over, made it a museum, and now it's a state park.
Okay.
But for those who are not familiar with the Edmund Fitzgerald, on November 10th, 1975, 50 years ago, it sank in a very terrific storm out on Lake Superior. And that shipwreck has really captivated my generation and my generation before, mainly because it's a modern era. Ships don't sink that often anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, the Great Lakes have Lake Superior has over 10,000 shipwrecks, but you're thinking like the sailing age and things aren't too good. In 1978, it's a modern ship, steel hull, diesel engines.
Yeah.
It has radio communications. It has radar. What's really captivating about it is that it just plain disappeared. There's no mayday, no rescue efforts. It just literally disappeared. And then I think the big part is it became a song from Gordon Lightfoot, who
Yes.
wrote a fantastic song that memorialized it. So, back to that lighthouse, it's been being that ship left that area, left the Duluth Superior Harbor, which was 30 miles down the shoreline from there. They light it as the beginning of that journey as a memorial. There's also memorials by Whitefish Point and Whitefish Bay where it sunk and stuff like that. But yeah, it's pretty cool that 100 and some year old lighthouse is which is still in its original conditions, is lit once a year, and it's for that. I've always wanted to check that out. I've seen the lighthouse numerous times before. And then this year being, excuse me, the 50th anniversary is just like super cool. So
Yeah.
it was a great experience.
Nice.
And the bummer of it is like, I just took pictures with my cell phone, nothing fancy. But of course, people were taking with real decent cameras. There's some awesome photography. And the beach where you get the best angle from where I was at is you're facing north. Well, the day after that, the 11th and the 12th, is when the Northern Lights were just spectacular around here. And that's the thing. Can you imagine? You know, that I don't have the picture up here, but
Yeah.
it's just an awesome picture the way it is.
Yeah.
With that rock cliff and the pines of the North Woods and all that stuff. But to have the purple and the reds and the greens of the Northern Lights behind it, that would have just been like chef's kiss. Perfect. But missed it
And
by
if you're right there on the lake too, so you don't have all the light. Like I'm in the suburbs now, and we've been lucky. I've seen the lights from my deck here in New York, upstate New York, a couple times, but it's challenging because, you know, God forbid, like your neighbor's got like their back porch light on or something like that. Like it kind of interferes. Like your eyes don't adjust quite right.
Yep.
Your camera will get the photo, but your eye, you won't see it quite right. And if you're witnessing it, if you're on the lake, like when you're on lakes, like Great Lakes, like we're used to, like then, I mean, you can really see like the stars at night, and I can only imagine like that. Those lights look phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can share here.
All right, guys, I'm gonna have to take off here.
Yeah.
It was nice chatting with you guys. And look forward to the next one, Shane.
All right.
Yes,
Sounds
yes.
good. Thanks, Norm.
Thanks. Yeah. See you, Norm.
But yeah, here's the picture that I was talking about in the daylight.
Oh, cool.
Where you see it. It's just a sheer rock cliff. Old school lighthouse on there.
Nice.
And that's what it looks like being lit up. So if you just imagine that darkening sky above it being lit up with the northern lights and going out there, that would have been something else.
That's cool.
Yep. So that was pretty cool. That was a fun time.
Good stuff.
All right.
Good stuff. Well, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. And
yeah, thanks for hopping
I'm
on.
glad. I know I carried us into extra innings.
No, it's good.
But you know, those if anyone goes through and watches, I think they'll get some neat ideas with some EDC stuff and maybe changing kit up and, you know, thinking with everything from wallet, flashlights, knives, pens.
If I was smart, I'll go through this thing and then like edit out the 80% of it before you showed up, and maybe the first 5% when we started, and you could get some good stuff. But maybe we should try to do this more regularly and some more things.
Yeah.
But definitely appreciate you hopping on.
Cool stuff, and I'll let you know about December.
All right.
I might have. I'm likely going to have a conflict, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But this was fun, and I'll try to join future ones when I can. So
yep, we can always do that. So hang on a little bit in the background.
I will.
And then but we'll end this thing now because, well, it's time to end it. So not many people watching this, but then again, I didn't even bother to share this on the socials or anything. I literally forgot about doing this until like yesterday and stuff like that. So gotta get back into the swing of things, so these will be more regular. So if you're watching this in the future, thank you, and we'll do better next time. I promise. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.
7-3.